greasier than hell. And record. And we're live. Boom. Bonjour. Welcome to another episode NDN Way podcast with Jonny R. I'm your host, Jonny R, obviously. Coming to you live from the Red Lake Nation. Well, not live, but as close as you can to being live. I'm sitting here. I recorded an episode yesterday. I didn't make it on YouTube because my MacBook is being difficult. So you can find that one on iTunes. Just look up NDN Way, NDN, the letters N, the letter NDN Way with Jonny R. It's on iTunes, Spotify, amongst other podcast, what is it called? Podcast sites? No, whatever. But it occurred to me yesterday that the enrollment issue facing the Red Lake Nation is coming to a head on Tuesday, February 10th. And I know this because my mother is on the enrollment committee. And they've been working pretty hard, getting everybody enrolled that applied for enrollment since the Red Lake Nation allowed those that were on the 1958 rolls to become full-blooded Red Lake Nation members. And I found out yesterday, my sister stopped in. She told me that one of my relatives, I don't want to get specific. I mean Pacific. I don't want to get Pacific. But the issue was that, my mom's enrolled. She's half Red Laker, and she's half White Earth because her father, Lawrence Roberts Sr., was a full-blooded White Earth member, and her mother, Maggie Roberts, Wabenace Roberts, is a full-blood Red Laker. So mathematically, she's only half Red Lake, but yet she's still full-blooded Ojibwe. Like myself, my dad's full-blood Red Lake, my mom's half. So doing the math, that would make me 3/4 Red Lake and 1/4 White Earth. So technically, I am a full-blooded Ojibwe, even though I got a face full of, facial hair or whatever. But and the issue that came up was, one of our relatives, I think he might have been 3/16, 1/16 short of being eligible for enrollment. But we all thought that, being my mom is half Red Lake and she was on the rolls in 1958, my mom would be bumped up to full blood. Full blood, she enrolled in 1958 and she was born a few years before that. So we all assumed she would be 4/4 after that. But apparently, because she wasn't born here, she is not eligible to become 4/4. Well, I didn't know that because in the what was given out, the literature and stuff, I didn't see that written anywhere. Being that my mom is not allowed to be bumped up to 4/4, that cuts out one of my relatives, who was just 1/16 shy of being enrolled. I did the math myself, so 1/16 short. So he's not eligible to be enrolled, is what they told my mom yesterday. So it's going to be an interesting tribal council meeting Tuesday. This enrollment issue pretty much split the Red Lake Nation in half, because half of the people, we want more Red Lakers. More Red Lakers would be beneficial to not only the bloodline, and I'll get to that later. The more Red Lakers, the better, right? And then the other half see it as there's not enough. There's not enough to be, not enough natural resources, not enough human resources available for an onslaught of new Red Lakers coming in. I can see that side. I can see both sides, but then I'm more to the let's enroll as much as we can, as long as they're eligible. If they have Red Lake blood, they should be a Red Laker. It's not our way to not allow our people to come in because of what the government wants us to do. I got a couple. I put a question out on Facebook today, and I said, "What are your thoughts on the enrollment issue?" Let them know this is for the podcast. Your thoughts are. Please share your thoughts, Miigwich. Well, Meigs, as the kids say, instead of Miigwich. And we had one, I'm going to say your name anyway, Terrence Lee Senegals. He said, my thoughts are ... Number 1, it's a failing system. 10 down to 0 type. Degenerative? I don't know. Number 2, it's an evident attack on the native inhabitants of this land. Number 3, family members and ancestry will fade into non-existent. I like that one. And number 4, Packers suck. I don't know where that came from. And number 5, I'm going a different route immediately. See you on the rolls, Jonny R. I don't know what that means either. Another one we got was from, we got a question from my former QB. Can you specify which enrollment issue? And I did. So, thank you for that, for clarifying there, QB. And Rod Prentice Jr. says, I did my research paper on enrollment for my federal Indian law class at Bemidji State. All the BIA requires is that an enrollment process is set in place. Tribes themselves set the blood quantum. Red Lake set the 1/4 degree requirement for our tribe. They could easily change it to 1/64, for example, to accept members instead of altering and moving all the members on the 1958 base roll to 4/4, and the BIA would have no issue. In the end, the more members, the better. Strength in numbers. My opinion only. Thank you, Rod Prentice Jr. And we got one from Salisha Ann Oldbull. And she says, enrollment was a plot to bleed out American Indian populations. It is an example of the highly debated genocide that has taken place in North America. Just as the saying goes, we are the only ones who have to follow a pedigree chart, like dogs and horses. Tribes have 100% control over this aspect of their governance issues. Tribes should change this to something more relative to their culture value systems many tribes adopted. Nowadays, it's all about money and materialism that motivates change or not, which is clearly a non-native perspective. So in that way, the U.S. government has succeeded in assimilation. If we change to reflect our ways, we can go on to continue to flourish as indigenous people. But as the cookie crumbles, one day we will all be depleted due to our own stubbornness and willingness to acknowledge these dreadful issues. We should upgrade and accept change on dire matters such as enrollment. I like that one. You hit the nail on the head, Miss Old Bull. And we got another one that said, just goes to a certain person. It was just to get a certain person enrolled is how I see it. Yeah. It's going to be a divisive issue. I can see both sides, but I'd rather have, like Rod says, in the end, the more members, the better. Strength in numbers, right? If we needed an army, more people would be better. If it comes to a street fight, if all like the old days, if tribes were warring, I think we're at like 12,000 members right now, but White Earth is at like 20, 30,000. I don't know, but we're still tougher though, right? No, I don't know. Just trying to start some shit, but yeah, that's where we are. I saw another one. Let me see if I can find it here. There was another enrollment issue, enrollment-based post on here. Let me see if I can find it. So how are you? What's new over that way? Okay, here we go. With 27 comments. And this is, give me one Inini. I hope you don't mind me using your Facebook post. All right. Oh, maybe I shouldn't read all theirs. I better not. But you can find more information on Red Lake enrollment issues on Facebook. It's not my place to use these opinions that that will go out to my 4 listeners or viewers. So, but yeah, it's just a touchy issue. I think. Well, I'm more. Let's enroll more people because my kids, a lot of them. Well, no, wait, 1, 2, 3, 5 of my kids are enrolled. Well, my 4 biological, and then my adopted kid. I don't even like saying adopted anymore. My younger kids will say. My 8 youngest. I think 5. I'll have to 1, 2. Maybe it's. Yeah, 3 of them aren't enrolled. 5 of them are. It's not really. The resources depleting. That doesn't matter to me. I don't hunt. I don't fish. We buy fish and we buy deer meat from our local hunters. Keep the economy flowing. It's a good reason to be lazy too. So, but that's what I do. It's just coming down to me wanting all my kids enrolled. It's not about money. Payments, whatever. We only get $200 is a lot of money, but if you think about it. Our tribe gives us $200 every Christmas time, which is very helpful, very beneficial, and it helps out with the Christmas. And I appreciate it. We really do. It really helps out a lot. But that's not my main concern with my younger kids. I want them to have a sense of who they are, where they come from. The battles that were fought for them to be. Well, that's not me. How their names, how their ancestors fought for what we have. And even though they're not enrolled, we can still tell them that now. But as they get older, they're going to want to, have that with them. It's not about payment. It's not about not enough room for fishing, not enough human services around here to keep us all, healthy and roof over our heads and food in our big bellies, stuff like that. It's just it's time to do what is expected of us. We're here to keep the bloodline strong. Again, like they said on this one, only horses and dogs are the ones that have to have documentation on their bloodline. Let me. What did she say here? Celicia and Obel said. Okay. Just as the saying goes, we are the only ones who have to follow a pedigree chart, like dogs and horses. Think about that, right? I don't know. If you're a Red Laker, if you got Red Lake blood, you should be automatically enrolled. That's what I think. That's what I know. But kind of bummed I'm not a full-blood now, full-blood Red Laker, but technically I'm a full-blooded Ojibwe. Maybe I'll go get my quarter from White Earth, put it on like a card or something. I don't know, something cool, something they can't take away from me, Because I was when I was getting my haircut last time, the barber asked me, what are you? Where are you from? What are you? So I'm Ojibwe, and he said, what else? I'm full-blood Ojibwe. And he said, now with all that hair on your face. I said, well, shit, man, I got testosterone flowing through my body. It's biology. It's not my fault I got more hair in my face than others. It took me years to get this. Lots of shaving. I shave at least one. Well, I haven't shaved in about a week since I had my interview. But the only time I shave is the night before a show. So I probably won't shave again until February 21st. Or maybe the day of. But I digress. Yeah. Full-blooded Ojibwe, I'm not able to convince the outside, the non-natives, that I'm full-blooded. And that doesn't really bother me. It's just the effects of my family not being able to, some members of my family not being able to be enrolled. I think it's just, I don't know, divisive issue. I don't admire the enrollment committee or the tribal council for having to to face questions about this issue, but it'll never be resolved. Well, maybe it will be resolved, but the way I see it is we need more. We need more members. And I sent what brings this up is there was a press release that was sent out. I think it was yesterday, and my son, he signs me out all my stuff here. Oh no, I'm here. All right. I need the option to sign into my Gmail. Where's my Gmail? Anyway, there was a press release on a lady filed an injunction with tribal court. Well, filed an injunction to stop the new. I don't know if it was the new enrollees that are coming up on this this next tribal council meeting. Again, I can't get into my Gmail where all this stuff is happening, and I will. I'm so not good with this stuff. I should be a master. Let me just do this here, Jonny R. Don't. Let me sign into my Gmail, and we'll see what's going on here. Let me read you the press release that was given out, sent out. Great. I gotta open my phone for this. You fail me, iPad. You're fired. Get out of here. I can't use you anymore. Get out. Okay, the email was. Where are we? Okay. I gotta look at my glasses because I'm old. I can't read. Okay. The press release was. Where the hell is the press? Man, I'm stupid. I need a young Jamie here. That's Joe Rogan's assistant. Let me read the press release, which is actually, I think this is. We got another. A post on our enrollment issue from my QB. And she says, the tribal council was elected to make decisions for the tribe by the people. So first off, I think they should have made a move on this a long time ago. I agree. Since it's usually included on everyone's platform before being elected. Now, this recent vote to make everyone on the 1958 rolls full blood. Nope, don't agree with it. It's a band-aid solution that created a lot of confusion and a crazy amount of work for the enrollment office. Not to mention continues to feed into the divide and conquer mindset. I just said that, yeah. Excellent point. Because some people don't want to share the full-blood title with the others they don't see worthy of it. And certainly does not meet the ancestors' mindset of making decisions for the next 7 generations, because this will need more work in the near future. Was it a rush job? No, not really. It's been talked about for years. I've said that too. But someone finally stepped up and did something about it. Did they need every single person's vote? I don't think so. Again, they were elected to make these decisions. I've said that. Could there have been a better solution? Definitely. I definitely agree with that, and hope to see it now that since the vote, people are finally discussing more options, choosing to agree or disagree. But the conversations are happening. I was not eligible enrollment before this vote, but I am now a clean 1/4 Red Laker, which makes me eligible. I haven't submitted my paperwork yet. My daughter's already enrolled, and my son now has the 1/64th he was short, plus some. But my kids still won't have enough if they decide to have children with people outside of the tribe. So there's that too. Yes, I agree. I agree with what she said. That's, the divide and conquer. This is where we're at right now. That's why I said I didn't admire the enrollment committee and the tribal council's, job they have to do for this, and it's a touchy subject. And we will get through it. It's nothing. What's it on this side? Nothing earth-shattering, but we really do need to we're not going to have a seventh generation if we keep allowing the blood quantum issue to be right there staring us in the face. So, but that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Thank you all for your contributions to my Facebook question. Pretty awesome of you all to. Could have more, but whatever. Everybody's too Indianish, which means shy, bashful, and Ojibwe. I think, they have been saying that for years, and hopefully that's still the issue. But yeah, we only had what, 1, 2, 3, 4 people participate. See, and that's another big thing. People don't really participate in tribal issues because they're too Indianish. I don't know. Maybe they're not, but they're busy. They got stuff to do. Not everybody's on Facebook all day like me. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. Big meeting, tribal council meeting coming up on Tuesday, February 10th, and I think they might have to move that to the casino or the Humanities Center because there's gonna be a lot of people there. A lot of people upset that some of their kids couldn't get enrolled. A lot of people happy that that'll be put on hold and put more thought into it. But like my QB said here, what did she say? Tribal councils elected to make these decisions for us. They should have made this move a long time ago, which I've said before. Just a band-aid solution. I better like her comment before. Yeah. But yeah, that's where we're at. Red Lake Nation. Only horses and dogs have to justify what they are by blood quantum, and indigenous people. That's the sad part. But anybody else add on here? No. So that was quick, right? You like that? It's I had a idea. I took it to the council to have start their own podcast, which I just spit. That's gross. I told them I'd help them with a podcast, maybe a weekly show, because I know a lot of the local politicians around the area do their own podcast, and yeah, but whatever. Maybe next time we'll do it. That's all I got. Miigwech.